Hey guys, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. This is the first of hopefully many. My name is HRG Surplus, owner and operator of Hellraiser Gaming, which is owned and operated by K3 Gaming LLC. So, uh, we want to do like these podcasts, you could say, over the course of the lifetime, hopefully the lifetime of HRG. So that's the future. So the podcast series is what will call it. It's going to be like HRG Podcast. This is actually HRG Podcast 1. And what it's about is basically we'll talk about different gaming reviews, interviews with esports players, streamers, content creators, and so forth. Let me just make sure this is working correctly. Should be able to see. Oh, there you go. Cool. So yes, so basically, where was I? Oh yeah, so it'd be basically interviews with different streamers, content creators, and so forth with HRG, as well as gaming reviews, gaming history, little talk show, and some random stuff too, just general knowledge stuff. A little about how raising game. Well, first of all, a little about me. I go by HRG Surplus, which is my gamer tags, but my real name is Alexander Lieberman. I'm the owner of Hellraiser Gaming, so a little bit more professional. And my gamer tag is HRG Surplus. So it's all in the open. I know I have it listed on the website, so I'll just verbally announce it. So, yep, no problem. A little bit about me. I started gaming for, I would say, probably about over 10 years, 15, might be like 25 years. So I've been gaming since Super Nintendo. And Super Nintendo went to N64, then I went to PlayStation 2, and then I went to Xbox, then I went to Xbox One, and then I went to PC, and I'm staying on PC forever. Forever, forever, forever. So that's a little history about that. I used to be in the Milsim online on Battlefield 4, a little about my experience in gaming. So I was in Milsim for 1 year. Let's see, I was in gaming communities as well, several different ones, either uh, through TGC as well as a few others. And then I rose to the ranks. And then after a while, I went like, you know what? Let's just start HRG. I also play a lot of FPS, first-person shooters, simulation games, MMOs or massive multiplayer online games, RPGs like Skyrim, SimCity, this not really The Sims, but City Skylines, Arma 3, Squad, Star Citizen. Also do a lot of tabletop gaming like Catan, Terraforming Mars, and so forth. So I know this is the first stream, so it's going to be a little bumpy. The other thing is, let's see, what other gaming stuff? I should have wrote all this stuff down. So yeah, so I did an extensive amount of gaming. Also dabbed into RPGs too, like Dungeons and Dragons. So I did a little stint on that, and a little bit of that stuff. Um, so yeah, and I also play. I used to play. Well, I'm trying to get into Fortnite competitive. I did iRacing a little bit. I need to get a full setup for that, steering wheels and everything. And then I got that going. Play Super Smash Bros. Melee a little bit, not that great at it. And yeah, so I mostly play right around Rocket League and Fortnite. That's the two games I play heavy, and also Foxhole, which is a heavy MMO. So, yep. And then if I can get the funds back up, I'm going to probably get the EVE Online as well. I play extensive on that. So I got part of a big corporation. I do want to start my own corporation as well too in EVE Online. So a little about HRG. So HRG was created back in December 5th of 2020. We initially, due to the space, we wanted to create a non-toxic community that provided opportunity for casual gamers to progress into the gaming world, either through streaming and esports and content creation. So that's how Hellraising Gaming became Hellraising Gaming. And the wording of Hellraising, since it's we made it one word instead of two words, is basically rising from the bottom up. So the moat of noobs, so that's like the bottom of gamers, all the way up to the high risers like A-listers and B-listers of the esports, the greats of the greats, you can say. So that's a little about with Hellraising Gaming. But we like to provide the opportunity for casual gamers, like I said, and we're actually working on an overlay for streamers. So when a streamer comes in or a casual gamer comes in and go like, hey, I want to become a streamer, we will help them, guide them into becoming a streamer. So we are working on getting an overlay. So each streamer will get a free overlay of HRG. And then we'll show you how to use OBS to make your stream on either Twitch, Kick, or even YouTube. So we will guide you and get you started basically from the ground, and then you work your way up. And then we'll give you little hints and tips as well too. And then we'll advertise you on our website, which is hellraisinggaming.com, as well as our social media accounts on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So that's a little bit about the streaming, as well as the esports. Right now, we actually do have an esports player, which is Midnight Blue. So he's based up in Canada. So we do look for players in other countries. We like to stay in the North America region due to international law and regulations. But yeah, he plays with us almost close to 2 years, and he went to a few majors in the past year. He went to let's say Riptide in Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio. He went to what was that big one? San Diego. Oh boy, that big one. Well, it's in San Diego and Atlanta. I forgot what it's called. And oh man, I can't get off the top of my head. But he went to those two majors. The one in San Diego actually had a $250,000 Fortnite tournament for a LAN tournament that was major for that. And then he also went to a few other ones. I can't get it off the top of my head. I should have wrote that down. So we did have two esports players. We currently have Midnight Blue, and then we also had Otez, which was both of them are Super Smash Brothers Melee. Unfortunately, we weren't able to re-sign Otez, but we did re-sign Midnight Blue. Just recently, we did sign a streamer. So he's actually on the bottom left. Is his channel, and it's New York City G for Life, and he promotes just positivity in the day as well as in stream, and he just likes to be happy, positive, and has a good outlook on life, and he projects that in his streams, and that's why we signed him, as well as I see him as a rising star in the streaming community. So I touched a little bit about streaming. with literally about esports or what we provide with esports players. A casual gamer will come in, or we'll also recruit and scout players. So when a player comes in, say casual gamer, they come in and go like, "Hey, I want to join your esports division." Go like, "Okay, cool." So they'll fill out an application. We review the whole application for them, and then depending on their stats, first we look at the stats primarily, A through Z. I even look at, like, for Fortnite, not only your elims and deaths, but I also look at assists. The crucial point will be time taken in matches. So if I see someone between 4 minutes to 7 minutes, I know they do hot drops. So they go into an area with 3 to 5 other teams in the map, and they just duke it out. And usually when they're 3 to 5 minutes, they don't duke it out successfully. If I see someone between 9 minutes to 13 minutes, I know they're in for the long haul. For the top, getting in the close top 10, top 15, probably top 5 consistently. So that shows that they know about defensive plays, offensive. They'll be able to read, have game sense in Fortnite. I also check out the elims and deaths as well too, as well as the ranking if they ever do arenas with the division. So we try to aim for Division 6 and higher. Division 6 is contender, Division 7 is contender, then you get Division 8, 9, and 10, which is champion. And champion is the best of the best, or Division 10 is the best of the best. With Rocket League, we take anyone from Diamond 1 all the way up to SSL. I see Diamond 1 as they're basically the under the radar. No one really cares about them except us, because we see value in those players. Sometimes they can some of them can progress right into champion pretty easily, maybe even GCs, which is Grand Champion. But we did also have a coach too a while back. I believe Lord Mitzi was his name. He was under contract with us about a few months, and then he had to depart from HRG. But we did have a Rocket League coach at one point contracted. So that's how we go along there. And also the structure of the esports is we go by tier systems. So we have a three-tier system. So how that goes is basically tier 1 is on standby right now, but tier 1 is basically academy. And once we get a few coaches on standby, then we can assist those casual players, or even Diamond 1, Diamond 2, Diamond 3, because each rank goes through three ranks within the. So you got Diamond 1, Diamond 2, Diamond 3, and Champion 1, 2, 3. So each Diamond rank as well as Champion rank will provide, if they're really shaky in their performance, they'll stay in academy. Once they peak, we get to the peaking motion, then they can they'll be transferred or upgraded, promoted to tier 2. And what tier 2 is basically it's a non-contracted position. And within the tier 2 system, they start off as free agents within HRG. So we have numerous of players, and each player is considered a free agent. That's not part of a whole squad yet, but they're listed underneath the team. And then they'll try and play with other free agents. Once they get a squad going and they form chemistry, camaraderie as well within their little squad, they'll notify the leadership team, and then we will get them into a squad, list them on our website at hellraisinggaming.com, and get them on start.gg, which is our where we find tournaments, and they can enter tournaments. So then we create a squad for them on start.gg, invite all of them into it. And then we also do a little bit of advertising and marketing for that squad when they play in the tournament, or even after they play in the tournament. And if they get in the top 5 or top 10, high placement, we will announce it on our Twitter and Facebook pages, going like, hey, you gotta check out the squad by HRG Rocket League team. They made top 3 in a big, $200 tournament or $1,000 tournament. With Tier 2, all Tier 2 players keep 100% of their winnings. We do not take any portion of it. That's the main difference. It's non-contracted. The reason why that is that with Tier 2s, after they create a squad and play in tournaments with consistency and get good placement, then we will offer them contracts. So it's basically almost like a fast track, but not really. It's more of keeping tabs on them, and not keeping tabs, but basically just tracking them right there. So instead of going out and finding a whole squad and trying to get a resume from that whole squad of their tournaments and researching the tournaments and making sure it's legitimate, we have the players in-house, so they don't have to go and look for another team, or looking for another team, or playing casually in other tournaments with random people, and then then hopefully a team spots them. So everything is in-house, so they don't have to worry about any of that stuff. If they get good enough, we'll offer them a contract we offer contracts per the squad, as well as individual players as well, because each individual player will have each player will have a contract, and those contracts can have monetary benefits. Most all of the contracts we do, each person gets a free jersey from HRG. Sometimes, I know with Midnight Blue's contract, I don't want to spill the beans or nothing, but we do pay for his hotels for when he travels. It's like an investment, so that's how we do that with Tier 3. And Tier 3 is the contracted people, contracted players. And we also, if they do stream, we will provide monetary assistance as well too with their streams. So we may give them biddies, or we may show some support, sub their channel as well too. So it says like, hey, HRG has your back, even though you're contracted with us. And I know with Rocket League, with contracts, we do take a huge percentage as well too. So that would be Tier 3. So it's a good setup. It's working pretty decently for us, and since we're pretty small. So that's the esports setup. Also without contracts too, which is a huge thing, and I came across in some lawsuits, case law as well. So some esports teams will not, they will permit you, or they will not demonize you, but they will say, like, dictate to you, like, hey, you have to practice X amount of time where, per day, like 5 hours a day or 6 hours a day, and so forth. We don't do that. Basically how the contracts work, I know with Super Smash Bros. Melee, it's a little different, since it's like a niche. But if it's like Rocket League or Fortnite, basically we'll take a huge cut, but we also provide a huge benefit. So where was it? Yeah. So we'll provide a huge benefit, and though that's how the contracts usually work. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. So we got that. Yeah. So we got that covered. And then with our content department, we're actually working on signing a content creator right now. First time ever. So with the content, we're always looking for content creators as well. And contract creators are contracted only. We if you do content as well, but you don't want to go to as a contract, if you don't want to do contracts, that's no problem. It's like you can do it as you may. But if you're looking to progress into content creation, and if you want to start a resume going, then you will need us to provide a contract for you, since we are a company. So it provides legitimacy to your career as a content creator. So with our content creators, we aim that either we look for thumbnails or videos, montages, clips, graphic designs, so along those lines. So when they make a clip, we approve it, then we will then post it on our social media from YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and the website as well too at hellraisingaming.com. And then the content creator can use those clips as well on their platforms. And they just have to we provide our watermark, which is the Hellraising Gaming logo, and they just put it on their clip, and it's good to go. They would also need to put it on a profile. All contracted, not personnel, but contracted players, content creators, and streamers have to say, like, hey, I am contracted with HRG. So it just provides us more exposure, because we do invest in our players, streamers, and content creators. For instance, with New York City G for Life, one of the main reasons that we saw an opportunity with him is that he was trying to progress. He's progressing into streaming, so he wants to do it almost like a career or even a side hobby. So what he was lacking was the expertise in merchandising, as well as creating a brand. So we hired a third-party graphic designer, worked closely as a liaison between the graphic designer and the streamer, and we came up with his logo, as you can see on stream, which is the wolf, because that's how he wants to be perceived as Wolfpack, meaning he's there for everyone, sort of thing. So we got him like 2 or 3 graphics to help build his stream. So we're there for the streamer. And then one of the humongous benefits of HRG without contracts is that every contracted player, streamer, leadership, manager, any type of manager or director or content creator, anyone who has a contract with HRG or even coach, they'll get a specific code designed for them. So it's a customer referral code to our store, which is hellraisinggaming.com/store. And within the store, any merchandise they buy, they get a 5%. So when they give the code out to anyone, if the person uses their code, the person using the code gets 5% off of all the merchandise, plus the person's custom code will get a percentage back or a dollar amount per for different items, or like 5 items for $1 or something like that, or some type of monetary concession, I guess you can say. So they get benefits. So it's a humongous plus. Plus, with our streamers, if a streamer has their own, if we're creating a brand for the streamer and the streamer also wants to get merchandise, we will actually make them a store within our store. So within hellraisinggaming.com/store, for instance, with New York City G for Life, you can do hellraisinggaming.com/store/New York City G for Life, and you'll see his own little store with all his merchandise right there as well. So we like to provide that to a streamer, content creator, esports player that is looking to create their own brand or their own merchandise. Because they would need, if they do it, they have to fill out taxes and other things and set up websites for themselves and keep track of everything. We do all that for the player, and we do all that for the that wants to create their own brand or has graphics, or they want to create merchandise. We'll do everything for them. It's like almost like a liaison for that person, for that contract person. So that adds substantial value for Hellraising Gaming that we provide a service for. That is one of the main differences between HRG and a ton of load of all the gaming communities out there. HRG wants to find different routes and different aspects that other gaming communities do not provide, or esports teams that do not provide. And we like to get into those holes and cracks and open those cracks up even further and make it like a whole gap, so it becomes more of a level playing field instead of all these big A-listing esports teams sign only the best of the best, which is makes sense, but they leave out the little dude who wants to get into it but doesn't know how or where to go. So that's where HRG comes into play, and we help guide them to making themselves known. So hopefully they get, after they stay with us or their contract is over with us, hopefully another team picks them up, a better team than HRG, and that's one of our main goals, to get that be that stepping stone. So the 4 pillars of HRG as well, and we basically go by these 4 pillars alone. So the 4 pillars of HRG is transparency. So transparency, we like to provide as much information as possible and be transparent on what we are doing to a certain degree. I mean, you can't be transparent 100%, but we try to be as transparent as humanly possible, but not give away trade secrets and stuff. So that's with transparency. So we like to keep people informed. So if something's going wrong, we can just let everyone know, like, hey, this is what's happening. This is the reason why we are doing this, because it is what it is. Or, hey, we have these things that we are progressing on, and we'll keep you informed. And then, next update, hey, it looks like we're not going to do this because X, Y, and Z. It's not feasible. So we try to, keep a transparent company. The other one is, and which is huge, is fairness. So with fairness, especially with our tryouts, if someone's trying out, and everyone has bad days. So if you're trying out for HRG and we see that you're not performing like we think you're performing, we'll ask you, hey, are you having an off day or something, or is something like, because it doesn't seem right. So they usually say, like, yeah, I'm just having an off day. I'm not doing good today. It's bad for me. I go like, okay, that's no problem. Would you like to reschedule this tryout so we can get you on a good day? And we do have a baseline, so we have basically your low of how you play at your lowest. So we like to see how you play at your best. So we like to provide that fairness to that player, because it's not fair to try someone out on their bad day and judge them on their bad day. That's wrong. That's the perception that's my perception. It's just wrong. You should judge them on the best days. Because it's not all days are going to be bad, not all days are going to be good. But I like to see them at their prime. So that's a little fairness there, as well as giving just fairness in general. So if someone is if someone is angry or something, we won't just hold them accountable. We'll hold them accountable, but not really. So like we go like, all right, so that's bothering you, no problem. So we won't kick you from the Discord if you're just having a bad day, type of thing. I know most other communities, if someone is going like raging, so there's no reason, they'll kick them or ban them. But we usually look more into it, and if it turns out if it's not that, then we kick or ban, depending on if it's hostile or not. If it's hostile, we do banning. If it's something that they say or we warn them, like, hey, this may not be for you. If they're under 13, we automatically kick them. If they come back due to the terms of service of Discord, we will then ban them at that present time because we give them a chance of leaving and not coming back until they could become 13 and eligible to get out of Discord. So that's fairness. The other one is opportunity, and that's a huge, huge thing. And that's the huge thing that runs through HRG from the low to the high. So, and that's what other communities lack, is providing an opportunity. Yeah, they provide tryouts for people, but they may not take everyone. Or, I mean, we do take quite a bit, a lot of people, but I did deny a ton of people as well. Well, I can't say people, they're gamers. So we denied gamers outright. So I have no problem. Even after tryouts or in tryouts, I've denied players because of their behavior, what they say. I've denied people outright. I mean, some of them were high ranking too, but I don't care. If your behavior is not in line with HRG's guidelines, or if you show toxicity, or if you think tryouts are a joke, or something like that, because I'm taking my time out from running the business or the company, since it is a company and business. So I'm taking time out from doing other things to doing a tryout for you and providing an opportunity to you. I expect some type of respect. So if they don't, respect, we won't take them. And that's the other thing. But also the opportunity, that's one with our streamer in New York City for life. He was not struggling, but he wanted something more, and we provided that opportunity for him to make something more, and we did. And that's the other thing with the graphics. So we had 3 graphics made. After the contract is over, we give him full rights to his graphic, since it's part of his brand. So that's the other thing with fairness too, that we won't just, if you're looking to create a brand, we won't take your brand. We'll help you with your brand, we just won't take it. So after the length of the contract, it'll be in the contract, of course. We'll provide you full rights and all the graphics that we made for you, and we'll send it directly to you. So a transfer of ownership of the graphic. So if you want to make it a copyright, you can, and we won't hold anything against it. So that's also a big plus with HRG. I know other communities may even take their the brands or make it within their own. So that's a huge plus. And the other opportunity is content creation, having casual gamers come in if they're looking to expand, even in leadership roles or coaching, or if we had one guy who came in and he goes like, well, I want to try coaching, but I'm not sure if I'm good enough, or I'm good enough, but no one wants to take me. So I'm looking to just practice my strengths. So I go like, okay, no problem. So we'll give them like a role of a coach and let them do what they need to do. So if they want to coach, they can. If they don't want to do it, that's no problem. So it just provides that opportunity for them to hone their skills. So possibly we do sign them permanently, not permanently, but we do sign them as a contract, or they can go out and go to another team and get picked up because their skills are more developed for coaching. So we also provide benefits, and the benefits are opportunity as well. So what I mean by benefits. So with HRG, we created a ecosystem. still in concept, but I believe it can work. So an ecosystem is basically once we get, when we get revenue coming in, it hits every single department, every single division. So it goes, so some of the revenue goes to, some of the revenue, the benefit, so the esports division will be benefiting from the revenue. The content department will be benefiting, or the media department, and the streaming department will benefit, as well as the community and the core community. So we do have a core community of gamers, and the core community will benefit as well too, because we believe in fairness and opportunity to give back as well, since the core community is part of HRG. And that's the bigger esports teams don't really do that, or they may do that in time frames. We don't give time frames. It's, hey, you're in it, you're in it. If you're out, you're out. It's not like we'll give you, X amount of time frame to be part of this organization. If you want to be in the core community and there's no problem of HRG, you're part of HRG. You be considered HRG. You just won't be contracted, or you won't be like at those higher levels, but you'll be on the principle of HRG. So that's the main huge benefit. And with the benefit in detail is we give out giveaways. So outright, we give out a $10 gift card for a PlayStation credit, Steam credit for PC, Xbox credit for Xbox Online, or even Switch for Nintendo credit for $10. So everyone is able to get into that giveaway if they become they accept the terms and conditions of HRG's core community. They get a role, and then they'll be able to go into the free giveaway. The second portion is if they develop they become more active within the HRG core community, then they'll get a second role, which gives them another opportunity into another giveaway. So that's 2 giveaways, potentially, they can get into. We also have multiple other giveaways too, that depending on it, we may be in the future doing subscriptions. So within those subscription plans will be another giveaway that you have a chance to win stuff. And when you go up the ranks with the 3 subscription plans, there's more opportunity to win bigger prizes. It's not only the gift cards, but maybe games, maybe systems, gaming systems, depending on how many subscribers paid subscribers that we get. So a portion of that will go back into the giveaways. So it goes back into the core community, and it's an ecosystem. So each part of HRG's division, departments, will take a little piece of that pie. So it's not all going directly to the head office, because that's not right either. Because HRG needs to expand and function, so each portion will get a slice of it, even the core community. So the core community puts into it, they get a piece back from it, like a dividend basically, but not really a dividend, but a dividend in merchandise basically, and giveaways. So that's a huge benefit in my opinion, and that's what makes HRG HRG. And then the core community is just casual gamers basically, and they come and go, so that's no problem. It's open. We do not do activity checks. So I know other communities, if you're inactive for 2 months, 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 days, 6 months, they automatically kick you from the community. In the Hell Racing Gaming, we do not do that. We don't believe in that stuff. And that seems like counterintuitive, that if you want to grow something, you don't kick people who are inactive in your Discord. I mean, it looks bad because you have like 600 or 700 or 1,000 people in your Discord and only 10 people are talking. So it makes it look like it's not active. But if I kick everyone and we go back to 10, and then we get 3 people coming in, or 4 people, and they start talking, it looks active. So it's a perception of like, hey, is this really dead or really active? I mean, yeah, everything is dead at some point if you really would think about it. I mean, if you have 100 people, only 20 people will talk, or if in the Discord or community, but most of the talk is from leadership, is that considered dead or alive? I mean, but our perception is if it's only dead if no one comes in, no one's interested in the brand or in HRG. So it's right now it's alive as can be. So we got fairness, opportunity is done. And transparency. The last one and the most important one is fun. So the principle of fun is basically it is gaming after all. If it's either we want to be fun, even if it's you're a contracted streamer, contracted any position, or even in the core community, we want you to have fun, and that's the main. That's why I leave it at the end, because that's the most important one, and people can't forget it. You gotta have fun, especially in gaming. And if you're in like really heavy in esports, and you're like grinding it out, you gotta have some fun at some point. So we do provide to get fun in HRG. We do provide community events. So each day we have a different game that we play. That the core community, as well as esports players, any one part of HRG can join in, and we play a game together. I usually do stream the games as well. So I use the Hellraising Gaming's Twitch platform to stream the game. So it provides exposure for those players as well too. Like, hey, this is X, Y, and Z, and we're playing. In Fortnite, you can see his gamer tag playing a game, and he's like rocking it. So it creates like, hey, this guy's really good. So he might be invited to other portions, or some people will be interested in joining their teams or something like that. So we also do movie nights as well. I can't really get into movie nights, but we do movie nights as well too. Giveaways, movie nights. We just designed a mini economy in our HRG Discord. So what the economy does is that they can each day they can get coins to spend. Once they get the coins, they can spend the coins on certain things. Like we have some merchandise. Once you get X amount of coins, you can get free merchandise. X amount of coins, you get roles. X amount of coins, you get abilities. So the abilities might be you might be able to use external emojis from other servers on Discord in our Discord, or you might be able to stream within Discord as well, and that'd be an ability to provide, or you'd be able to put links in our channels, and that's another ability. Or in the future, if we do have a content creator for that can make graphics, maybe that will be a reward. Like, hey, if you get this many points, you redeem them, you get a free graphic from our graphic designer. So we like to provide those types of opportunities and rewards. We do have 3 type of reward systems as well within HRG, which is different from a lot of different other communities. So the 3 main core systems we have is the XP, or experience leveling system. So every time you chat in a channel in the Discord of HRG, you get XP. And I believe it's like a few XP per, not few, maybe like 10 to 30 XP or so, give or take, per minute. And that will go to your level. So every time you level up at certain levels, you get benefits. Like at level 3, you get entry into, you get entry every single month in our giveaway. Or level 30, you get a free jersey, not free jersey, you get a free t-shirt of HRG, which is pretty sick. No other communities really do that. Level 15, you have eligibility for becoming a moderator within HRG. Or level 7 with XP, you have you get a special role called experienced gamer. So instead of being a gamer within HRG, you become an experienced gamer, and you're going up the totem pole. So you rise through the ranks basically. And how our ranking system and role system in HRG does, like we don't have military. We had a military system, but we took that away. So when a person comes into our Discord, they are actually considered a newbie, because that's what, if you're new to a game, you call it, it's really a noob, but you're a newbie. Once you accept the terms and conditions of HRG's Discord, then you become a gamer. So you get a gamer role, and then you're a gamer within HRG. And then when you rank up, you get to experienced gamer, and that's another role, and go up the totem pole. After experienced gamer, we do have other opportunities like game host. So if you want to do, that's also non-contracted. So the game host, that whenever you want to host a game, you just let us know. We can post it for you, date, time, as well as the game that you're going to be playing, and then we'll post the event, and then you'll be actually moved up on the totem pole as well. We also have a lookout role, and a lookout is basically the moderator, because they're looking out for the community. So you'll be placed on a higher role for that. And that's also non-contracted. We also have another role called Tour Hype, which is taken off the Minotaur, which is part of our logo. So the Tour Hype is basically a gamer that wants to hype up HRG within Discord, and they're really active. So that they get a special role too, and that goes up the totem pole. So that's part of the core community. And then we have different roles for other departments, like our media department, which is podcasters, news people, content creators, and stuff like that. Esports will be tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Free agents. What was it, like the different squads that we have, that goes up the totem pole. And then, of course, the head office, which is a webmaster, which is contracted, a vice president, and a vice president of esports, vice president of content, and vice president of streaming. So they are basically they're head of the whole. If you're a vice president of streaming, you're in charge of the whole streaming from A to Z, from recruiting to contract negotiations, making sure that the department is running smoothly, getting everything uploaded to the website, making sure we're advertising properly and getting the videos out there for our streamers. So that's the principal of vice presidents. The vice presidents are hard to come by. So those are strictly contracted, or not contracted, but they're reserved for employees. So you'd be employed by HRG. That's the future of HRG. We do want to get employees for HRG. Right now, we can only do contracts. But yeah, that's the whole placement of HRG, and what we want HRG to be. And what we want HRG to be is basically, we want to become a platform or a brand / company for casual gamers. We do want to open up gaming centers in the future that has a whole network within the network. So we do want to have satellite gaming centers, major hubs in all cities for arenas. As well as marketplaces, hubs for teams to come to for recruitment, for local teams, so they have a real place they can recruit in person, just not online. And then we provide services and subscriptions and memberships through the hubs, as well as satellites. And we want to create a whole network of ranking systems, leaderboards, tournament organizers, World Series of esports, Hall of Fame of esports, different leagues, different divisions from this, and then it's basically like a FIFA a FIFA style network as well as an NFL or a Major League Baseball start type of thing. So with FIFA, you have different leagues, and within those leagues, you get different clubs, and with those clubs, there'll be different divisions. So basically, it's like that. So if a club is moving up and they're getting better players and winning more tournaments consistently, they move up a division to gain more, getting better at becoming a mainstream a team. So that's what we believe. We believe in opportunity, and that's opportunity right there. And that would revolutionize the whole esports industry in the U.S. What we also want to create is we also want to do create a lobbyist group for HRG, and the lobbyist group is basically going to be there to create laws, regulations for esports players, so it can become like a like NFL. So with NFL, you have a NFL association, you got a player association, and you got other associations. So we want to create something like that, as well as associations for esports players, because esports players right now have almost no rights and no protection. They have absolutely no protection in the esports industry right now. No protection. So we would like to create protections for them. That's one way, is to creating an association as well as lobbyist groups to change laws. And as well as laws on the books right now are confusing as heck for a lot of esports companies and teams and players, because most of the laws have the same keywords as esports teams have. So what I came when I was researching gambling laws, most of the gambling laws at face value will say gaming laws. And that's inconsistent to video gaming. But if you look more into the law, it says it's all it's gambling laws. Basically, it's purely on luck-based games. And since esports is not luck, it's pure skill, it's not going to be treated as gambling. So we want to create something like that, as well as HRG in the future. If it does grow out, we will be rebranding at least 2 to 3 times and changing the logos and changing the brand, or creating new brands and just putting HRG into the main company in the future, because our goal is to revolutionize, make esports mainstream. We want to enter the tabletop gaming sector as well, or the industry, and create tabletop gaming games as well as tournaments, part of the gaming center strategy. And we also want to get into casino gaming, not casino gambling like making a casino. We want to establish like products and services for people to have access to, for home games, or even like what other companies do. They're making their own little like casino online in states that are legal, or something like that, but not casino like Tropicana or something like that, or Caesars. But yeah. So that's basically the whole run up of HRG and myself. So I don't know how many people are watching. But yeah. So I'm gonna be ending the. Oh yeah, and the last bit of this is that we will be doing a YouTube podcast every 2 weeks, depending on how much the viewer count and the sustainability of it. It may increase to once per week or twice per week at that level. But right now, we're going to be doing it once every 2 weeks is a podcast. So this is podcast number 1. Next, in 2 weeks, will be podcast number 2, and so forth. So that's that. So hopefully you like the podcast, and that will do it. So thank you for everyone that is viewing. And like I say in my streams, deuces.